Dear all, in the last session, I have shown you the important questions from Module 4 in the subject of renewable energy sources. Now, I would like to have a brief discussion. You know the syllabus content. There are 3 segments. And also, these are the important questions from Module 4. I'll be showing you once again. Kindly go through once. Okay, I have discussed in details. Okay, fine. Now, I'll be moving on the discussion of that particular answers. Okay, let me share the PPT. Okay. I hope the screen is visible to everybody. So we need to focus on biomass energy, then biogas energy, and ultimately tidal energy. Okay, so definition of biomass and all not required. It won't ask directly. Then you can focus on the production of biomass by using the photosynthesis process. Just you can remember this equation. Fine. Then the direct methods. There are different methods. One is direct methods, okay, for making the biomass, extracting the biomass. Then indirect methods are 2 types: thermoelectric conversion and biomass conversion to the fuel. Now, very important topic, that is gasification. What do you mean by gasification? Okay, it's a basically a partial combustion, and they will be converting the biomass into useful product. Especially, you can produce some kind of gases. Okay, then so the basic segments of gasification you need to remember. Fine. Then theory of gasification you can remember. Okay, what is a gasification? The device which will perform the gasification is known as gasifier. There will be a partial the combustion that will be taken place. As a result, these are the components will be generating as a part of gasification. You can see tar, dust, methane, hydrogen, carbon monoxide. All are called the components, byproducts of gasification. The contribution that is already given here. Okay. Then fixed bed gasifier and fluidized bed gasifier. There are 2 types. Okay. Then fixed bed gasifier, the structure will be this fashion. It is divided into downdraft, updraft, and cross-draft gasifier. So it is better to study the diagram. So I'll be showing you the diagram. So regarding the updraft gasifier, it is the oldest and simplest form. Air will be taken place from the bottom and bottom to top. Airflow will be like that. Airflow will be taking place from bottom to top side. So gas will be left over at the top. Fine. So as a result, the syngas is going to produce. So this is actually the updraft gasifier. As you can see, there are different zones: combustion zone, reduction zone, pyrolysis zone, ultimately drying zone. Here we are able to get the gas. These are the applications. Regarding the downdraft gasifier, it is very important question for your university examination. So better you draw the diagram. The airflow will be different. Primary gasification air is introduced at the above the oxidation zone as shown in the diagram. Okay. Similarly, producer gas is removed from the bottom and the starting time will be 5 to 10 minutes. So this is a structure of a downward gasifier. Movement of biogas feed from the top to bottom. Gas will be collected at the bottom. That is why it is known as downdraft gasifier. This diagram you need to remember. Fine. Similarly, cross-draft gasifier, there is a zigzag movement of the movement of airflow that is going to take place. Also, the layer will be in this fashion. So you can see the different layer: drying layer, pyrolysis layer, combustion layer. It will be in this fashion. That is why it is called a cross-draft gasifier. Okay, fine. So similarly, fluidized bed gasifier, that is another type of gasifier. It is used to convert the waste into clear fuel gas. That's the purpose of using fluidized bed gasifier. This is the way how fluidized bed gasifier operates. There is a fluidized bed. As you can see, the fluidized bed. So gas will be taken out in this particular direction. The ash will be taken as a byproduct. All right. So air will be coming from bottom to top side. So there is a fluidized bed. That's a major component. You can see the advantages. Fine. So the major use of biomass gasifier, cooking, drying, heat water, then internal combustion engines, etc. These are the various applications. Okay. Similarly, you can produce the liquid fuel. Biodiesel is an example of liquid fuel. Similarly, ethanol. Fine. Okay. These are the important segments. Then gasifier biomass feed characteristics. So what are the major features? Moisture content, then energy content, high density of fuel, dust content, all the tar content, tar formation, ash and slagging characteristics. Those things you have to mention. Okay. Then applications of biomass gasifier. Automobile, direct heating application, electric power generation, chemical production. Okay, fine. These things you have to remember. Yeah, next one is actually biogas energy, biogas. So biomass is a raw material and biogas is the byproduct. So you need to know what is the difference between biomass and biogas. Fine. Biogas is derived from biomass. The main component of biogas are carbon dioxide as well as methane. Fine. You can see the major component of biogas that you have to remember. Then anaerobic digestion or the degradation of biomass in the absence of oxygen is known as anaerobic digestion. As a result of anaerobic digestion, there are byproducts that can be utilized for the fertilizer. Okay, that is called a biofertilizer. Explain anaerobic digestion. There are four stages: hydrolysis, acidogenesis, acetogenesis, methanogenesis. This is very, very important. So remember this particular stage. Okay, what is hydrolysis? What is going to happen during acidogenesis, acetogenesis, methanogenesis? Ultimately, in the methanogenesis, methane and carbon dioxide will be eliminated. This block diagram is more than sufficient for your exam point of view. So if you are not comfortable with this block diagram, you may have to refer this block diagram as well. What is hydrolysis? How it is going to happen? What is actually acidogenesis? So this process you have to remember. Fine. That is important. Kindly pay the attention. Okay. Similarly, another important point is actually the construction of biogas power plant. So you have to remember about digester, gas holder, where the gas is coming out, where is the feed that is going to provide, then how the fertilizer will be, manure will be taken out. Fine. Then what is the ratio of water and cow dung? All the things you have to remember. This is a general explanation. What is the importance of digester tank? There are two types of biogas power plant. One is fixed dome type of biogas power plant. I will let you know. So these are the components of biogas power plant in general. Gas outlet, inlet chamber, dome. All those things are the components. Please go through that. Foundation is important. Okay. Now, very important concept I would like to tell you. Two type of biogas power plant that is going to ask in the examination. Fixed dome power plant as well as floating type. So this is the structure of fixed dome type power plant. It's actually stationary, steady. Okay. There won't be any floating state. It's a steady. How the input is provided. What is the importance of digester? Mixing action will be taken place, and here only the anaerobic digestion takes place. What is the ratio of cow dung and biogas? Those things you can explain. Then overflow tank, importance of overflow tank, how the gas is connected, all the things you can explain. I request everybody to study the diagram. Please study this properly. If you study, then you can explain very easily. Then the importance I have given. What is a slurry? Slurry is nothing but water and cow dung. That is called as slurry. All right. So what is the retention period? How many days it will take to convert the biomass into biogas? Cow dung into slurry into biogas. Almost 60 days, 45 to 60 days. Then these are the examples of fixed dome type power plant. Fine. Another one is actually advantage and disadvantage. You can go through that. Why it is called cheap, movable, all those things you can justify it. Then the main problem is porosity and crack formation. That is a major setback. Floating type, what is the importance? Why it is called a floating type? Okay, so what is the construction? The particular gas holder that can be moved up and down. That is why it is called as floating state. Okay, floating type biogas power plant. Then benefits of biogas. Then what are the benefits you have to remember? Okay. Then you have to mention about one term called the C-bar ratio. That is called as carbon to nitrogen ratio. Fine. So it is always keep the carbon to nitrogen ratio in the moderate level. It should be neither high nor low. Fine. If it is very low, means there is a formation of ammonia which is too dangerous. If it is very high, it may lead to it will reduce the biogas production. It is better to keep in an optimal level, that is 20 to 30. That is the optimal level. That point you can add in your exam point. Fine. These are the different C-bar and ratio of different type of biogas, biomass. Okay, like different type of animal manure. In that you can identify which is actually the optimum one. Usually cow dung and all, it is actually in the medium level, around 24 to 25. That will be actually more comfortable. Fine. This is regarding the gas production. Then advantage you have to mention. How do you select a biogas power plant? Okay, what are the factors affecting biogas power plant? The third segment is actually called a tidal energy formation. Tidal energy from the tide. Okay, so what are the different reasons for the formation of tide? You can remember, you might have studied in the lower classes, on the high schools and all, you might have studied. Then in the sea, there are three type of energy. One is tidal, another is wave, and the third one is otak. So we in this module we are learning about tidal energy. So questions we have to find out the answers now. See, majorly you have to go through. Right now you can go through that because we are right now we are focusing on the exam point. So the major questions I want to discuss. So remember this equation. So how to calculate the energy from the tide? If they ask like explain what is the meaning of tidal power plant means, you can write this equation. Fine. So major thing is actually the basin arrangement. This is very important for your university examination. I found that this question had repeated many times, several times. So please pay the attention. There are different types single basin system. See like this single basin system. So you can see that. The main thing is simplest form, single water reservoir. There is a sluice gate admit the water, just like a gate, like a control valve. Okay, so here actually it works twice in a day during the high tide and low tide. Okay, during high tide, water will come from what I can say sea to basin area. At that time, turbines goes in one direction, clockwise direction. Whenever during the low tide, what is going to happen? The water starts moving from the basin area to sea area. Therefore, there is a reverse movement. Okay, but by the way, in these two situations, turbine starts operating. One is in the clockwise direction, another one is in the anti-clockwise direction. Please study this diagram. Okay, so you have to explain during high tide as well as low tide. That is lot more sufficient. Another one is double basin arrangement. Double basin. This is called a double basin arrangement. So regardless of like high tide and low tide, it is going to operate. One is having the upper basin, other one is lower basin. That is why it is called double basin arrangement. It is more efficient rather than single basin arrangement because it will not be merely depending on the tide two times. Okay, so these are called double basin. Here civil construction is bit more. Power production will be high. Similarly, cooperating two basin system. You can see like a basin, and I have seen these kind of questions in the university examination. What do you mean by cooperating two basin systems? Okay. Turbines and all, I haven't seen these kind of questions. We can move on. Okay. Possibly remember like a Kaplan turbine, like a Francis turbine. Those turbines can be used for this particular tidal power plant. Drawback you can expect, advantages and disadvantages. Why it is called renewable energy, why it is called clean energy. Those things you can justify. There is no carbon dioxide emission, no greenhouse gas effect. Then disadvantage you can mention construction, the fluctuating power, erection will be difficult. Those things, payback period will be high duration. Okay. Then what are the major problems of exploiting tidal power plant? That also you can explain. Okay. Environmental problem. And then power availability will be very less, around 10 hours in a day, which is very difficult to construct. Limited construction location, that is very less. Okay, so these are the things which you can expect. Even I already shown you the questions already I have mentioned the questions. So again you can go through that. See, discuss the problem faced in exploiting the tidal energy, explain the single basin and double basin arrangement. So those questions are very important. So I hope you got an idea how to prepare especially module 4. Try to pause this video and find out. The important questions only I have discussed. I have just overviewed the important questions. So prepare in that fashion. Try to do the diagrams. That is a lot more sufficient. Try to elaborate it as much as possible. Okay. Thank you for watching this video. Good luck.